The really big difference, bottom line, is the picture quality. It's the sensor on the camera. Let me make this really clear for you. Here is a side-by-side, and then here is the Mini 4 Pro. Dynamic range is much richer. This looks more like the Air 3 now. You can't film in the middle of the day and expect a really big difference. There is a difference, but it's not relevant because it's not very much. These drones are always tested in extreme situations, so that's like a vivid sunset or a fairground at night or a battlefield at dusk if Canada invades. I'm recreating the Arizona state flag here, and on the Mini 4 Pro, the shadows are just a lot richer. You can say that the Mini 3 Pro footage was underexposed, but I was exposing for the sun, so both of these were given a fair shot. And it's weird because I could have sworn the Mini 3 Pro had a really great camera, but the Mini 4 Pro is just showing how it could be better. Much better exposure balancing, and this is really important to me. Highlights are sweeter. You get this nice little regal glow that you can get on something like a backlit cactus instead of looking at this tiny sensor fighting for its life trying to exposure balance all of this. So the exposure balancing is at work here really well, but tastefully. That is such a peeve of mine. I don't want it to look like a video game render where everything's perfectly even, there's no shadows. I just want it to help. So if it can assist me, then I'm happy. And this is starting to look a lot like the profile and the exposure balancing that's on the Mavic 3 Pro. So my wildest dreams are coming true now. We're getting the Mavic 3 Pro's camera and profile kind of on a drone this small. So for this upgrade, yes, 100% it was worth making a new camera build. As soon as I saw this afternoon footage, I'm a sellout. I love this thing. I'll shill it nonstop. Better vibrance. Reds come out much more vivid, just clearer in general. That's before playing around with the footage too, because I will do some color grading to try and improve it. The shots I'm showing you though are all straight from camera. Between the two, I have a whole video on what the Mini 3 Pro can do. So if you want all the details and a bunch of hype material on its features, just go watch that one. It's really long. I don't have time to do a huge review every 2 months. I'm just talking about the important differences here, so this is what we're gonna get. So notable funsy bonus, number 1, night mode is now on the Mini 4 Pro. That means noise cleaning and better visibility and low light. If you have to film at nighttime, even in full auto, night mode is really helpful and it's noticeably improved compared to normal footage. This sensor and now also having night mode, low light, this is starting to look closer to my Air 3 at this point. And there's also omni-directional anti-bonk on this drone, so you can see the little sensors have changed for anti-collision. There's an updated smart remote, and this thing starts up really fast, I've noticed, compared to the one that came with the Mini 3 Pro. It's also brighter than the other one that comes with the Mini 3 Pro. If you're complaining about paying an extra $200 to get one of these with this drone, get a job. It is a massive experience improvement. It makes you want to fly and film all the time. The phone cradle life is tough, honestly. I've said in every video that it's a million times worth it. Important things to note about this drone, it uses the same battery as the Mini 3 Pro. Thank God we don't have to go buy more of these things. If you have a Mini 3 Pro already, these batteries will fit, but you get 34 minutes with this thing and 45 if you get the extended jumbo battery that comes with the Fly More kit. Plus, it is the same weight, 249 grams, body's the same size. ND filters though, you're gonna have to rebuy. It has a bigger camera head, barely, but it's a more powerful camera, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, ND filters aren't gonna fit, you have to buy those. You only need that if you're filming video though, I've said a bunch, but that's just for video. On paper, the specs don't look like it's anything crazy, and it is the same sensor size, a 3/4 inch sensor. The Air 3 had that sensor though, and I judged it before it came out, and then immediately it is a noticeable improvement. Whatever they did, they somehow got that picture to look dramatically better. I think the sensor uses pixel binning and the quality and exposure balancing is just really improved. But knowing that these are the same sensor size, I said right away, if they took the Air 3 camera and sensor and just put it on a Mini 3 body, you would justify a new model of drone just because of the quality increase. It's also nice that the price didn't really go up because the Mini 3 Pro has been at this price, the same price as this is launching at, for the past year and something. So good news is the Mini 3 Pro is going to be on a little discount now, but the Mini 4 Pro is replacing that. It's not like there's a price increase. And if you really don't care about the differences, you can just go get a Mini 3 Pro used or on a discount at this point. There's plenty of drones out there that need a loving home to go to. It's not going to have like weird psychological issues. I know that's like the rumor, but it's how you treat it. You can go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and buying a used drone is an okay thing to do. I've bought used drones. You typically know right away if something is wrong with it, or the app will tell you. If you are that upset about the price difference, I think it's justified completely. I mean, squeeze out an extra couple $100 and you have a sensor that is that improved. You will love the footage out of this thing. So yeah, I think it's completely worth it. But either way, with both of these, you still have a rotating head, which is just a super cool, fun feature to have. You've still got hyperlapses. It's quiet, small. It's the most fun experience you'll have with a drone. This size of body, the drone that can fit in your pocket or a lunchbox. Another really cool one, which is just a quality of life thing. Whenever you turn around and face your home point, it'll show up on the video. So it'll kind of put a little blip on the map so you can see where the heck you are. If you're standing next to a car and you're in a lot of 1,000 identical cars, or like deep in a forest somewhere, I've flown past myself plenty of times because you're like 200 feet up in the air. So this is a nice bonus. If this is the last dollar in your bank account though, Mini 3 Pro with the smart remote versus the Mini 4 Pro with the cradle life, I would say pick the cradle and just suck it up. It's annoying. If you're flying your drone once every 4 months, it doesn't matter and you can just deal with the cradle life. But if you can avoid it, yes, it's really, really worth having a smart remote. I would still prioritize the camera and the sensor though, because it is just delightful seeing this kind of color and exposure balancing, how rich this is for a drone this size. Everybody's biggest question, should you upgrade from the Mini 3 Pro to a Mini 4 Pro? I think it's worth the upgrade if you just sell this used to somebody, even if you have to pay a difference of like $300. To me, the image quality makes a difference, but I know not everybody wants to do that. Otherwise, you're gonna have to make that decision, man. If you're on the fence about it, I know you want the newest thing. I personally would do it. I didn't have time to do any photos, so use your imagination. It's got the same sensor as the Air 3, so if you can get this on the Air 3 plus some editing in Lightroom, we can get this potential out of the Mini 4 Pro. Get a second battery. You need one for charging in the car while you're flying with the other one. Learn some simple cinematography. I'm not talking about that here. I've got other videos on that. This is easily reaching pro quality. You can make $200 an hour with this drone. I'm not talking about that here. I've got other videos on it. I also have a course on it if you just want all the answers. I love this drone. I don't know anybody who's going to regret getting one of these things. So 100%, that's my whole video.